Hello. In this video, I'm going to be drawing another point of view of this Cerceris wasp. Photos by James Reben. So I like this view because it gives a really good shot of its legs. We could see almost all of them. I like that we can see the back legs pretty clear, even sort of through the back wing to an extent. We could see a portion of that wing. A portion of this midsection leg. I can't see the front right leg. It's curled up a bit. But yeah, I really like this image because there's a lot of good stuff to work with. So I keep wondering if this video will get a bit long. Not that it's a bad thing in any way. To start off with, I'm going to draw the ball of the head. And I think what I'll do is, yeah, I know before I tried to sum it up in a pill shape, but I think this time I should make it a ball. And I'll eventually tack on more things. Now I'm going to draw a ball for the thorax. Maybe angled a little bit different. Oops, too far. And I keep thinking about the gestural flow. Kind of like goes up, then down, then up, kind of like that. The abdomen's a little bit tricky because there's like this little intermediary area, which it's kind of difficult to tell. Like I think this is all like from here going back, it's all the abdomen. Makes it a bit of a tricky thing to handle. I'm going to try to draw it as a bit of a whatever this shape would be called. I think that kind of summarizes it. I think sometimes I try to always fit everything into an ellipse of some sort degree, and maybe it always doesn't work out as much as I would expect it to be. I'm going to make some pilot holes for where the legs will eventually go. Now what I want to do is I'm going to add some structure, because I feel like at this point it's kind of important for me to add some structure before I add the wings and the legs, because those are, like, I'll draw more gestural lines for them down the road, but it's just a bit too difficult to do now because I feel like I'll be off with them a little bit. So to start off, I'm going to try to draw the shape of the head, and I'm not going to execute it all in one. It's interesting because its head is like a bit flat. Not flat, but more like, kind of like a hammer. Yeah, about like that. That's kind of like the shape of the head, but with its eyes that are very bulging out. Oh, they're kind of bulging out a little bit more. You know, I keep thinking it's even a little bit larger. I keep thinking maybe I should have extended it a little bit this way. Its eyes are very bulging. I think I should have been trying to draw an ellipse more for that eye. Kind of like that. It's got that other structure right there. And this eye, we're kind of seeing like that half dome like shape. I'm going to fill in the eyes for clarity. Because I think sometimes it's good for me to fill in the eyes to make it clear where is what. Now what I want to do, well, there's this other shape over here. I can see all these interesting forms on top of this wasp, if I'm saying that word right, its head. I'm seeing, well, it kind of dips down, kind of comes around, kind of does that. I'm also seeing these things. I don't know if this means it's like a queen or something like that. It has like these things. I bet they're like sensors of the sort. Hard for me to tell. I'm also going to make 2 pilot holes for where the antenna will go. And I can actually jump to the gesture layer real quick and put some lines for where the antenna are headed. But I will go further and hone out the antenna down the line. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some structure onto the thorax, which is this part right here. Looking at the thorax, I see this kind of connecting part, kind of goes, wraps around the form, connects the head to the thorax. I guess it goes in a little bit more. I want to focus on the back. I see a very strong structure. It's like on that ball. And I also see these 2 additional forms. They're like 2 additional forms where the wings are attached to. And they are important because it's like this whole clump of reinforcement for the wings. And I guess I could quickly jump to the wing. I'll draw the gesture of the wings real quick. Kind of like that for that one. I think I went a little bit too far. Maybe like that. Then it comes and connects around to that. Now what I want to do is I want to focus on the back again. I see this triangle-like thing kind of coming along the contours. It all connects. It's like you see all these forms. It's kind of like an interesting puzzle piece. Bulges out a little bit. All these quite interesting forms as you look into it. Perhaps I should have made the back bulge a little more than I made it. Now what I want to do is I want to focus on the abdomen. So there's this initial part here. It's kind of like pill-shaped. Then we have this section. We could see all the individual sections of the abdomen that kind of act as armor. We can't see a stinger, so I'm pretty sure that its stinger is a bit tucked into its, or like retracted into its body. I believe a lot of hornets can do that. And I see another one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think I may have overestimated the thorax. I'm sorry, the abdomen a little bit too big. Because I think the mistake I made here, yeah, I definitely overestimated the length of it for the last part, because I made it, if I look at the gesture again, I kind of made it just a tad bit. Well, you know what? I think it actually does dip. I mean, I could justify my mistake by making it dip a little bit more, even though that's kind of not what we're seeing. I was a little close. I was a little off, but you know, that happens sometimes. Now what I want to do is I want to draw some gestural lines for the legs. About there. This leg, it's a bit tucked under the abdomen, but it comes out about there. Kind of like that. This front left leg kind of like curves up. Kind of does that. Front right leg is a bit obscured. Yeah, kind of like that. Keep thinking, maybe I made the structure over here. It should have been curving a little bit more down. I think I didn't make it curve right. Okay. Now I could start drawing the legs. I guess I'll start with this one. Kind of does that, that kind of ends. A bit like that. Then we have here, we have an interesting shape in which there's like a beam right there before it connects further with a thinner shape. Then there's like a junction shape here. Kind of like that. Kind of goes down a little bit further before it connects. And you have like these little triangle things. the back leg here, we can see part of it as it connects. Yeah, the back legs are significantly different. Pretty sure that has something to do with aerodynamics of the sort. If I was going to draw the front right leg, kind of like that, it's kind of hard to see it because there's so much overlap going on, but we can see part of it. This leg over here, I don't know what I was thinking. I made that way, it should have been up more. Should have been way up more. Should have been like more like that. Before it comes back down abruptly. Then comes out. Now I'm going to focus on this leg. Kind of like that. You know what? I think I messed it up just a little bit. Should have been more like that. We have these triangle things. Then the last part kind of looks a bit rounded before it kind of has hook-like things. Okay, I didn't do the antenna yet. We could see it. There's like an initial bean shape that's like connected, or actually there's like a little ball that's first connected. Then we have like this bean shape. Then you have another ball attached to that. And you can kind of see there's another form, kind of thins out. And I'm going to connect that to that little ending area I had here. If you do look at it, the ending area close enough, it has all of the, it's like a bunch of connected individual parts. And for the other bean, does that. Then we have, oh, I made the ball too big. Then you have this section. Then I could connect it. Then I'm going to try to show those individual units. It's like a bunch of stacking cups. That's always how I tend to think of it. Well, I guess they're a bit more solid. They're not really, they're a bit more like maybe connected cylinders than stacking cups. I guess there is another form near the head, kind of bulges out like there and there. What else did I hit? Okay, so on the back here, I kind of see this depression in the back. It's kind of hard to see it, but I do see that little depression. And also looking at the back nodes again, it's kind of like there's a little bit of a division area between the two. It's like where the wing connects to it. It's like there's a curve where the wing is connected to that back node thing. But it is quite the feature on this insect. I guess I should have showed the intermediary connecting area between the thorax and abdomen. Yeah, sadly, no stinger. I mean, it has a stinger for sure, but we just can't see it, which is a shame. Also, on this leg here, I'm seeing some, like, serrations. I don't know if that's for... I mean, I could only guess that that's for, like, helping carry back stung insects to its nest to eat. Sorry if you do not want to hear that. Looking at the back leg again, I just realized that there's that form here. It's over here, too. I kind of messed up on this part, which it should have been more like that other part, because I can see a little portion of the spiky part poking out ever so slightly, and there's got to be that serration thing on the other side. If I wanted to cover a couple other things, I would say back to the wing. We can see a good portion of the wing. It's always important to think of the wing as being a bit more three-dimensional and not just a flat thing. It's kind of like a leaf, in which a leaf, yeah, it looks flat, but it does have a certain degree of thickness to it. So do be aware of that. I wanted to draw more of this wing. It's a little bit out of the camera's focus, but overall it's a really good picture. The other wing, on the other hand, we could see a good deal of it. I was thinking maybe I'll try to do that. It didn't work out the best. Yeah, we could see some interesting designs of the wing. It kind of does all these different interesting quirks, or whatever you want to call them. I keep thinking of like stained glass for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of how I think of the wings to an extent. I think I messed it up a little bit. That's what I get for not having experience doing the wings. But yeah, for the most part, I think I covered the important things I wanted to. Yeah, I really messed up this wing. Oh well. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. I guess I should have also shown that, like, you know, this eye over here, it kind of made it a bit of an ellipse. It is like a dome thing. It's a bit hard to tell, but do keep that in mind, that it's not just it bulges out. It's a 3D form. Think of it like a sphere or an ellipsoid. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. I do see some other areas kind of under here. It's hard for me to tell whether it's a bit structural or whether it's kind of like an extra thing. It's really difficult for me to tell. But it's significant enough for me to notice it, so probably means something. But yeah, thank you very much for sticking around in this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something. I keep thinking maybe I should have tried to show this area bulging out a little bit more than how I did it. It's kind of difficult for me to think about that. But yeah, if you like the video, please like it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And if you have a question, please ask in the comments. Thank you for sticking around. Bye.